Good morning again. I am going to be talking about sewing things for our junk journal, and I will give a few minutes for people to come in while I take a couple sips of coffee. I know this is an impromptu, and so maybe some people are not busy and able to come on. Hi, Trina. Okay. Hi, Miranda. I was just sitting here waiting a few minutes to see if there were people that weren't busy that could pop onto the live video for a little bit. So we're going to get some sewing going, girls. Do you guys sew? Do you sew, Miranda? Good morning. Do you sew, Trina? So let me tell you my background. I started sewing when I was about 7 years old. And the first sewing machine that I ever used was a treadle sewing machine, you know, the ones with the pedal and it rocked back and forth. That was what I used to sew on. My grandmother decided that she would teach me to sew as opposed to having me play with her sewing machine. So that's how my sewing started. Since then, I have gotten into quilting and doing sewing workshops. So I have about 20 sewing machines. I have 10 of this model. This is the Brother CX6000i. And I use these for workshops when I go out and teach. And I like to teach children because I feel like it's becoming a lost art of sewing. So I love to do the workshops with the children and teaching them how to. You don't have a machine. Hand sewing is also a great thing, although I don't like to hand sew. So let's take a look at some things. I just got a sewing machine yesterday. Awesome, Trina. That is amazing. Yay! So you'll be able to do some sewing in your journal. So let's take a look at some things that I have received. I love to do embellishment swaps. And so these are some of the things that I have received and to give you some more ideas of things that you can sew. So this is simply book pages, and she has sewn down the side and across the bottom and put a little bit of lace on here. And then inside the pocket is a butterfly journal that she has created. And this was stapled together. So it's stapled together. So you can take your old book pages, probably put two pages together because that gives it a little bit more thickness. And if you're afraid that they're going to like slip around on you, just take a glue stick and add a little bit of a glue stick to hold them in place while you sew. So this is something that you could make. And then there's tags. We all love tags. And so this person did the zigzaggy stitch down the side. And this is coffee dyed paper. And I love this, and I love how she did the layered pockets here. So this is super cute, and little lace on there. So this is an idea, again, putting two pieces together. That way it gives it some thickness and some body. So because if you sew through just one single piece of paper, you're going to have the holes, and I think that it's going to tear easily if you were to do that. And then we have, this is like a mesh, and then this is like a, what do you call it? Like a burlap here. And then she sewed this on first because you can't see the stitches here. But then she did that zigzag stitch around the edge. So this is great, and it's a paper clip. And as she sewed across here, it kind of hid that paper clip in there. So this is another idea. I pulled out a lot of stuff for my journal. This one, again, it's got the 3 pockets, so they're layered. But again, down the side, around the top, and over the edge. So this is another great tag that can be sewn. And then those popular prayer pockets, doing the zigzag across here before you put it together, and then doing the zigzag down the side. And she also did across the back of it as well, and created multiple pockets and even the tags. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. And that's part of it. But if you take these out, she has it cut in half so that there's something else in here. What's in here? Oh, that won't come out because of the way it's folded, but she's folded it to add bulk. But she did the zigzag around there, and these come from Penny's kit. So I'm not sure who the person was that made this, but these were something that Penny has in one of her journaling kits, and then she just put these little things in there. So sewing the prayer pockets would be another neat thing to do. And then here's another book page. So it's double book page, and then she did a little decoupage on there, put a little coffee dyed booklet here, and then it's the zigzaggy stitch down and around. So, and then this is open at the top for a pocket. So that's pretty cute, cool. So there are lots of ideas of things to do when it comes to sewing. But one of the biggest things to think about when you're thinking about doing sewing in your journals is to think about what you want to be sewn. Because at this point with my journal, I can't really go back and sew anything in, like I can't sew these pages because it won't fit under my machine. So if I had wanted something sewn on here, I should have done it before I actually bound it together. So think your project through as far as what you're going to sew, and especially with the pages, because if you sew the pages, if you put the journal together, bind it together, then you cannot sew anything together. So lace is great, putting lace on, thinking about, you know, what you want to put on there. Hi, Natalie. So thinking about, you know, different lace and trims and things like that, gathering up bunches of threads and using that. Tulle is one of my favorite things. If you haven't noticed, I think I have a lot of tulle in every one of my videos I've done had something to do with tulle. I love tulle. And I'm going to do a shaker pocket as well. So thinking outside of the box. So this, I have one of those eight punches, and it didn't punch correctly because it didn't punch here on the edges, but it's so super cute that I didn't want to throw it away. So I folded it down to like this, and then I did the zigzag stitch around, which basically closes up the two sides. And then before I did all of that, I glued, because it's like 4 layers here, I glued it so that I could create a pocket. And my glue isn't holding very well up here with these, so I'm going to have to redo that. But now I can put something in here like that. And then I can also put something, let's see, where are they? Here they are. I could also put this in here. So doing something like that. Let's see, what else do I have here? This is one of the tags that's from one of the kits. And I think this is from my kit, the Butterfly Garden. And I simply did the zigzag stitch around here and did a little stamping. I left the back blank. But again, I can put, where are they? I have quite a few of these. So I could put one of these in here, or I could put 2 of them in there. This one I like to stick out because it has the butterfly. So I could do something like that with it. And then I wanted a belly band for the front of my journal. So when I did my napkin decoupage yesterday, I actually used junk mail, a piece of junk mail. It was Joann's coupons on there. So I took and did some stamping on just a plain piece of white paper, added some distress on there, And I sewed this. I did the sewing up and down around with the little zigzag stitch, and then I put this tulle on after I had dyed the tulle with a little bit of that yellow distress, and then I did a zigzag across the front of my circle that I have distressed around the edges. So this will become my belly band on my journal on the front of it. Now, I did a swap with someone and I received a card, and so I don't want you to see the message that the person wrote. So I simply took one of the extra pieces that I had accidentally printed on, because I want to use everything, and I did the zigzag stitch around. I did leave the top open. I'm not sure if I'm going to close the top or put something in it, but this was just something simple. So using what you have. So what I have here are a couple things left that I want to sew on and show you how I sew, because everybody does it a little bit differently, and everybody does things. We all find our own techniques. So I want to put, and I don't want to put any lace on this one. So this is just one of the and I'm just going to put these together as a pocket, and then it'll be able to be put inside of a pocket. So I have my machine set for which stitch I want. This one has like 59 different stitches on it, and you can choose whichever one you want. And I'm using the number 4, and I'm also lengthening my stitch a little bit because I want it to be real super close together. Hi, Penny. So you'll have to, read your manual for your book, for your machine, because they kind of vary a little bit. And so I don't want to tell you the settings for my machine and then you try it on your machine and it doesn't work really well. So make sure your bobbin is threaded correctly. Make sure that your other thread is threaded correctly. And then you may sew. So I have all of that already set. And what I like about this machine is I can actually use it without the foot pedal, or I can use it with the foot pedal. All right, so let's go. And I do back stitch because, all right, so my paper got hung a little bit, so make sure it stays together. There we go. Now I back stitch because I don't want it to come out. That's just me. So you have to determine what you like and what's going to fit for you. Because we kind of all see different techniques and things like that, and then we find our own somewhere in the middle of it. Let's see. All right, and then I lift my presser foot and keep going. And because this is paper and it's going to go in a junk journal, I'm not real picky about, if my stitches are straight or any of that. I just simply sew. And so I have this, it's sewn around the edges, and then I can open it up and it is a pocket. And now I can put some things in it. What do I have? I have, that's a pocket. That's really big. All right. Now this one's really big. Let's see. I know I've got some small ones up here. Maybe I don't have any small ones. Well, let's see. Are you guys still with me? All right. So then you can stick some stuff in this pocket. There's random stuff that I can put in here. I've got a shaker that I haven't finished decorating, but I could put the shaker in there. So just random things. Okay. So the next one is another little pocket, and I just want some stitches on here just to decorate it. So I am going to start up here at that edge. And I hope you guys can see this. All right. And then I'm just going to eyeball center this, and then I'm going to hold on to it. we go. And then I'm doing my little back stitch. There we go. Okay, and so there I have just the little stitches decorating my pocket. Okay, so let's take a look at actually making a shaker. Oh, I have one more of these to do. So this is my napkin decoupage, and I did it on junk mail. So I'm going to cover the back, and then I use this to mop up. So I'm not sure if you can actually see it. Yeah, you can see a little bit. So when I did my distress, not my Glimmer Mist, I used this to mop up with. So there's a little bit of shimmer on this page. And so what I want to do is attach the two with a cute little decorative stitch. And you can match your threads if you want to. You can use random threads. You know, you can do a lot with this. So just think outside of the box when you're going to do it. Because there are so many options for sewing in your journals. Now, I don't have any sewn pages in my journal because I've already bound my journal and put it together. And so I can't go back and sew any of my pages. Uh-oh, went back too many. Went forward one too many. So I have sewn quilts. I've made clothing. I've made gowns. I love to teach sewing classes and sewing workshops. I've gone into homes and taught individually. My favorite thing to do is to teach kids. I want them to be able to do this, and my grandmother taught me, so I want the tradition to carry on. So now I have a little pocket here that I could put something in. There we go. So I can put this in there, and then I can sew something up here at the top so that I can have, I'll find something later. I don't think I took anything out, but I can attach something there if I want to. Okay, so now let's get to making the shaker. Who on here wants to know about making the shaker? Nobody? Okay, someone's on there. Okay, so I already pre-cut my tool. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to sew around the edge. I'm gonna leave the bottom open. And the reason I'm gonna leave the bottom open is because I need to be able to go back and fill it. So when thinking about this, you can use lace, you can use tulle, but whatever you use when you're gonna do the shaker part of this, make sure it's something that doesn't have really big holes, because you're gonna fill it with something. And you don't want whatever you're filling it with to come out. I'm just gonna go around here like so. All right. Go around here and sew it all the way around. Okay, now this part, now I want to trim this off because I don't want all this excess. I cut enough so that I could do two of these. These are from Marcy's collection. She has these in her Dollar Digitals, and I like them because they have the butterflies on them, and it goes with my butterfly journal. Hi, Kathleen. So I'm just going to trim this down just a little bit because I don't want all of that excess. Looks like I need a sharper pair of scissors. All right, so I've got this trimmed down. Just trim around it. If you want to leave it, you can. I don't want it on there. I just want it trimmed. Okay, so now I have it so that I can fill this. Now, because this is tulle, it has small little holes in it, so I don't want to fill this with anything that's going to come through my tulle. So I can't put glitter in here. But I can put all of these little butterflies that I have cut. They're all different size. And then I have some sequins, and I can put some of those in there. I've got some purple and some blue. If I can get these apart, these are always the hardest thing to open up. So to make this easier for me, I'm just going to put these in here. All right. And then I have some of this. I'll put a little purple in there. Hopefully I can get this open. So it's not raining. It's not raining here yet, but we're supposed to get rain. So this is a good day to stay in and craft. Okay, I have all of those. And then I have these big blocks. They have like letters on them. I just pulled this out to show you as of something that you could put in there. I'm not going to add those to my, and you've seen, if you've seen any of my shaker videos, you've seen a lot of this stuff that I've added in. I'm not going to use any of that today. And then I have this big box, and in this box, let's see, you can see it. There's like all kinds of stuff in here. So there's some in here that have words on it. And I want to pull out the word peace because I know it's in here. There we go. And I'm going to stick that in here. And then I have all of these little like, they're like little doves. So I'm going to put a few of those in there. Just drop them in here, make it easier for me to get all this stuff in there. And then I have some of this stuff. And they have some of the smaller pieces in it, and I'm going to drop a couple of those in there. There's some that have, there's a flower in here somewhere. There we go. Just random pieces and colors. There's an angel. So these are, all right. And then there's some crosses in here. There's the word love. There's all kinds of stuff in here. So let me put this in here. There we go. And shake it around. Don't want to lose anything. Seems like these are all clumping together. There we go. Okay, so I think I have in here what I want in mine. You can put as much in yours as you want or as little. Did I mention the size of the needle? I did not mention the size of the needle that I'm using. I didn't really go over the tips of the machine so much because Penny has a video on that. I'm just using a regular size needle, and I'm not even sure. I don't remember the number. I don't want a big needle, like a leather needle, like a needle that you use for leather or denim. I don't use that size because that would just make too big of a hole. So use a smaller needle. Okay, so, but please watch Penny's video because she gives you more tips about the machine. My suggestion was to figure out your machine based on what your manual says. So I didn't really get into all of that kind of stuff. So here we go. I showed a lot of things that I have, ideas of things that you can sew. And I can show you those real quick again. Okay, so now I have it sewn and everything can mix up together. And I love those butterflies in there. Okay, so I'm going to trim this again. I want mine trimmed. I don't know. You can leave it. It does add character, but it's the character that I don't want today. So I'm getting rid of it. All right. I think I need a new pair of scissors. Mine's getting dull. Okay, so then I have this tag. Let's see, what else can I say? Oh, so I showed this earlier. Penny, what is the name of your video about paper sewing? It's Kathleen, once I get off, I'll tag you in it so that you'll know which one it is. It's only one other video that's on about sewing. And it was posted at about 6:30, so it's in the, you can just scroll through and find it, but I can tag you on it if you like, Kathleen. Okay, so I showed this, and I sewed this on there, and this is in my kit from the Butterfly Garden. So I just created a pocket. This is my napkin decoupage from yesterday where I did my mixed media, and I did a little bit of stamping. This was actually a piece of, let's see, where's the little piece? I've got a little piece somewhere. I don't see it, but anyway. Oh, here we go. So this, it was a bigger than this, but it was just an advertisement from Joann's, and I simply used white gesso, and I gessoed over the whole entire thing, and then I did on part of it, I did the napkin, and then after I got my napkin on, I used a little bit of the, it's called, I think it's called aging gesso. It's like a brown color. So I did a little bit of that on the top just to give it a little bit of age. And then I used the archival ink, and I have that still out. The archival ink by Ranger. And I did stamping, and I used this stamp, which you really can't see too good. Let's take it off. Let's put it up against the piece of white paper. So it has all of this on it, and I use that stamp to stamp on it. This stamp I got from off of Wish, I think it was, and it was like, it took me forever to get it to get here, but it was worth the wait because I really like it. So that's what this piece is, and this piece is in the that's no problem, Kathleen. Some of us are early birds. So we've been up and doing some stuff, but some of us are just kind of getting out too. So it's no problem. So I did this one. I sewed that. This was a card that someone sent me in a swap. And I simply took, because sometimes I print my, my writing pages. And when I do, somehow I always end up with the extra. So I just took that extra piece that I had, I cut it, and I sewed it in here so that you can't see what she had written. But now this becomes a nice writing space for somebody. And I made a belly band, and I just did some stamping with, I used these Bo Bunny Butterfly Kiss stamps. I love butterflies. And then this piece was in one of the kits, the Butterfly Garden kit, I think. But anyway, I just sewed across that, sewed down. So this, again, is a part of that junk mail that's been repurposed. So I can make one more shaker. And then I'm going to get off of here because I have some other things that I want to go get done. And I also want to get this done. So, okay, so here's another piece. Let me get some of this stuff out of my way. There we go. So I have my tool again. And now I got to pick one of these. And this was a hard decision because this one has a pretty butterfly on it. That one has a really pretty butterfly. And that one has a really pretty butterfly. I think I'm going to go with this one. So then I'm going to simply put this on. I'm going to put it over this way. Then I can cut some of this off and make it into something else. So use it for something else. Okay, here we go. I'm going to sew around here. If you're working with paper and you're putting paper to paper, you can always use a little bit of a glue stick to hold it in place. If you can match your threads up, you don't have to match your threads up. I didn't match my threads. I just simply used black because that's what was already in my machine for something else that I did previously. So okay, so I got that sewn around, and then, oh, thank you, Josh. Your videos are amazing too. You do such a good job. I can't wait to see your next video. And you starting your own channel, that's going to be amazing. You should start your own channel so that we can just watch what you do, because you are such a big help to your mom. All right, so I'm just going to trim this a little bit across the bottom so that I don't have all that too much excess out there. Okay, so now we need to fill it. So I'm going to start with this stuff. And I'm going to just drop a bunch of stuff in here that I want. Well, maybe I should put it in my hand and figure out what I want first before I just start dropping stuff. Oh, there's some angels in here. I love the angels. Okay, these little pieces can go in there. I like these little flower pieces. And remember, just remember that this is tulle that I'm working with, so you don't want to put something in that is too small that will, you know, I can't put glitter in. And I love my glitter. Every one of the shakers that I've made has glitter in it, except for these two. I don't think I want leaves in there either. So put this in here. I've got pieces that are escaping. This time I think I want to put the word love, if I can find it. No, those all say peace. All right, here we go with love. I think I want to put the blue one in, because I think the gold won't show up. Whoa, oh, that looks good. All right, so let's put these in. Let's make sure that they're turned the right way. Oh, that one's not. Let's turn it over. Okay, there we go. And then we'll just fill this up. And because I want some butterflies, I'm going to just take my punch and punch out a few butterflies. And I have some scrap paper here that I've been using. So just punch out a few of these butterflies. And okay, that's probably about as many as I can get out of there this time. Dump it into here. And then I'm going to punch some out of this yellow, wherever it is. There's some yellow. I love these mini punches because they're great for stuff like this. And you can just, and if you're sitting and watching shows and stuff, you can just kind of sit there and punch them out. I don't do any of that kind of stuff, but I know people that do. And but no, that's not me. I kind of make my stuff as I go and decide, you know, yeah, I'm going to do some butterflies. So I grab my punches and I start punching. Are you using zigzag stitch on this? Yes, ma'am. I am using the zigzag stitch. I've just set my machine on the zigzag stitch, and that's what I've used for all of the ones that I've done so far. I did change this. I have a number 3 on here that gives you a little bit of a different stitch. Let me show you what it looks like that's different, because I did for the first one using that. Oh, let me see. Okay, so this stitch is my number 4, and I lengthen my stitch. And so that's the number 4 stitch. Now this is the number 3 stitch, and there you go, you can see it. So it's a little bit different, but those are the 2 stitches that I have used this time. I like to use the decorative stitches for stuff like this. I just think it gives it a little bit of a character. Would be cute with small buttons fit in, with small buttons fit in there. Yes, buttons would be perfect to put in here. Unfortunately, I don't have buttons to put in here. So yeah, I showed my button collection is like, I think there's like maybe 5 buttons in my bag of buttons. So yeah, I don't have a bunch of buttons. So I'm just going to leave it like this, maybe add a couple more things in here. There's a shell, there's some pink things in here. Yeah, let's add those in. Okay, I think I have what I would like to have in here. And it all scoots around nicely. So now I'm just going to close off the bottom. Again, I'm using that same stitch. And I do back stitch. That's just me. Some people don't. Some people do. You have to find your comfort level. All right. So I hope this helps you. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I'm sorry. I meant to put some lace on here. Let me grab some lace real quick and put some lace on here. This time I'm going to use a straight stitch. So I'm going to go, I'm going to go to number 1, and I'm going to lengthen it. All right, there we go. And let me just cut this. I think this is going to be cute on here. I wanted to put some lace on here. Okay. Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining in. So let's go back and put this lace on here. All right, here we go. Okay, ooh, I like that. And I'll just trim this down to make it even. And I'll trim off all of these excess threads. And there we have it. And it's got a little bit of lace at the bottom. And then I'll put something on there so that we can hold it. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll do something. So these are just some ideas and tips of things that you can do with some sewing in your journals. And I encourage you to go and watch Penny's journal, watch Penny's video, because it does have some other tips and things in there that are more geared towards your machine and setting your machine and things like that. I just encourage, I just wanted to do some embellishments, and I'm going to be adding these into my journal, decorating my journal, and then I'll be filming a walkthrough of my journal so that you guys can see my finished journal. So thanks for watching my videos, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a great day. And I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and let's see, must add Tulle to my shopping list. I love Tulle, and I find Tulle on, like at Walmart sometimes, like like I get these, where'd it go? I don't know, I've lost, oh, here it is. So I get these, and I find these at Walmart, and sometimes you can find them like for like $1 or something, like off the clearance rack. I have one that's silver, but it has glitter on it, and so the glitter comes off, so you have glitter everywhere. It's very, very pretty, but you end up with glitter everywhere. And so sometimes you can find them on your clearance rack. So hit those clearance racks, girls. Okay, so thanks for watching. Have a great day. If there aren't any more questions, I will be getting off now. Any questions? I don't see any posts. Oh, from Josh, I am working on a journal. Oh, awesome. Awesome, Josh. I want to see. I want to see. Okay, have a great day, ladies, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.